Unscripted.
One of the things that I spoke up most about being a PlayStation and an Xbox fan is the fact when there's, a problem with one of these companies and, they don't really do anything about it. First of all, these are basically faceless corporations that don't care about you. They don't care about me. The only thing they care about is their bottom line and the money that they're making. And so with that being said, a lot of times people forget that we're the consumers and we're the ones that basically pay their salaries because we're the ones buying their products and services. Now, if everybody really kind of thought like that instead of, just outright giving, everything they have towards these companies and damage controlling for these companies, and I'm guilty of that as well, but you just see it happen in such a way nowadays where people would rather, make excuses for companies. A good example of this is this. I was a huge, Xbox influencer. Most of the people that had subscribed to me were Xbox influence. Wanted to be talked about. How great Xbox is. I get it. The problem was that at a particular point, I started noticing Xbox kind of going down the wrong path, and so that's something that I couldn't really abide by. So I started calling Xbox out, and then people started saying that I flip-flop, and I was flip-flopping for views, and I was doing this, and I was doing that. Was I doing any of that stuff? Of course not. But in the minds of a lot of the hardcore fanboys, it's easier for them to believe that somebody was doing something for ulterior motives or personal motives than it is to believe that Microsoft screwed up and somebody was calling them out for it. That's the part that I find the most unbelievable about all of this situation, right? I hope Xbox really does come back. I see that, they've got a lot of positive stuff going on right now, and I'm happy that they have that. They still lack the games due to the fact that, let's just be real, right now they don't have anything. For almost 2 years they haven't released a AAA. With that being said, I'm sure that in a few years from now they're going to have some quality content and things are going to be great. But it's getting to that point that's going to really kind of suck, and it's going to be hard to understand. And then you see this whole new group of like faux Xbox fans that weren't there from the beginning, didn't suffer with the Xbox One. They just jump in and pretend like, hey, you know what? I love this. I love Xbox. And the reality of the situation is they didn't suffer through all the pain and strife and nonsense. They're just there for what they think are going to be the rewards. Will those people be there for the long haul? I think that's going to be a different question. Now, on the Sony side, I've never seen people so quick to call out a company before. Like Sony fans really calling out basically what's going on with with their favorite company or their alleged favorite company. Like, yeah, this is pretty incredible to say the least. And, I'm here for it. I love it. It's like if you're willing to sit there and kind of call out the thing you love the most in terms of gaming or whatever, your sports team, then I think that's going to be extremely bode well for actually getting something done, because these companies will pay attention and will listen if we actually go out there and call them out and make sure that they're paying attention to what our wants and things are. And that's exactly what happened now. You have PlayStation fans calling out Sony, and this is some pretty good news as far as I can tell. I really love hearing about this stuff. So, first of all, I think a lot of people were really, really upset when it came out that Days Gone 2 wasn't in production. Now, I, silly enough, thought that Days Gone 2 was in production. And the reason why I thought this was pretty simply put because the game was a huge success in terms of selling. It sold over 5 million copies. It could have sold 7 million copies for all we know. The problem is, I think most people thought like I did. We saw the articles where they were staffing up and hiring for their next game, and we kind of just assumed because they left the sequel open-ended with the cliffhanger in the first game. So we all kind of assumed that it was going to be a sequel. And then, we figured we'd probably get the sequel probably in a couple of years, because we thought that they were working on it since probably 2019. Well, turns out that's not exactly the case. We all kind of know what happened, where Bend ended up having to be, not having, but they ended up supporting Naughty Dog with some projects over that time, and now they're just now starting on a new game we probably won't see for 3 to 4 years, which is unfortunate. So Sony Bend is not working on Days Gone 2. Fans aren't happy about it. In fact, they're so miffed they put together a petition to get Sony to approve the sequel, which has amassed over 15,000 signatures and is climbing fast. The petition has well over 15,000, and the next goal is 25,000 signatures. In case you missed it, Days Gone 2 was reportedly pitched by the director of the original game, but Sony wasn't keen on the idea, despite the fact that Days Gone was a commercial success. And actually, apparently the game's critical reception was to blame for Sony's reluctance to greenlight a sequel. Now, Days Gone was released for the PS4 in April 2019, and now can be picked up for free as part of the April 2021 PlayStation Plus free games lineup. So now Bend is working on a completely new IP, which I guess is sort of good news if you think about it. I mean, it's not it's not a terrible thing, but again, it's something that we keep seeing kind of happen time and time again. So we'd rather them actually pick up a new game than not have anything ever come out again. So now we actually have news that they are working on a new game. It has vehicles in an open world, and this has come to us via a new job listing. So a series of new job listings at Sony's Bend has revealed some interesting details about its new project, among which mentions open world elements and vehicles. The studio is hiring for a number of positions, including art, animation, and programming, and gives mentions of not only open world environments, but also weapons, vehicles, and more. This obviously makes it sound a lot like Days Gone, though it's not. As we know, Sony did not greenlight a sequel. Right now, though, we can speculate what Bend is working on, although fans weren't happy, given the fact that a bunch of people are signing petitions and things like that. Now, Sony Bend has been reportedly working on its new title since September 2019, just a few months after Days Gone. I don't know if this reporting is accurate, because they were actually just now starting to work on that. So yeah, it's a very interesting kind of subject to talk about. I think so many people are just kind of miffed and upset about the fact that kind of what's going on. Sometimes you have to understand that business is business. Like, I understand that. It's like, they closed down. They what they did was close down a situation with like Lionhead or whatever. That's what Microsoft did. But at the same time, you also had a situation where Lionhead hadn't really put out a game in years and years, and basically Microsoft is paying for everything, keeping the lights on and all that kind of jazz. So you kind of understand a little bit where they're coming from. But at the same time, you also have to look at things and go, well, where does it make sense to kind of trim some of the fat? Are these companies worthwhile kind of keeping these games and things, keeping the lights on and stuff like that? I think that's where, we keep most of this stuff at. We kind of keep these things, to ourselves or whatever as gamers. But if you're upset about something and you think that there should be a sequel to a game, and you're and you're a person that's paying for these consoles and buying these games and paying for these services, why not speak up? Why not go out there and get something done for a change? You know what I mean? I think that's something that a lot of people should definitely get the idea in over their head. Is it's not a bad thing. If you're a fan of something, it's perfectly okay to want better and request better, right? I just think so many people, that's lost on so many people, understanding that we're the actual fans. We're the ones that are paying for this stuff. We're the ones that are actually going out there and making these buying these things and spending our money on these things. So I don't understand why people get it in their heads that these corporations need defenders, or these corporations need people to make excuses for them. What they need is people to be honest and upfront about how we feel about this stuff. So I would absolutely love it if you guys would just let me know how you feel about this stuff, because so many times I get hate for just being honest about something, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. I try to stay as even keel as possible, but at the same time, I just think that that I'm just a normal person. I'm just trying to do some content. I'm just trying to get my YouTube channel back on track. And, you know, it doesn't help that, you know, there's so many trolls that dislike me or whatever, and I understand that, but it really doesn't help the matters. You know, I wish the trolls just, hey, leave my stuff alone. You know, go find somebody else to bug. I just want to talk about video games and have a good time talking about the things that I love in terms of my hobby. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that we'll ever see a sequel for Days Gone, or are you happy that we're getting a brand new IP from Ben Studios? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. I'm Crapgamer. This is Crapgamer Reviews. As always, there would be no channel without you guys. Thank you very much for always rocking out with me. It really does mean a lot, and I appreciate it more than anything, more than you guys can know. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.